Hey there, fellow Slosh Survivors. Thanks for tuning in this week. It's me, your host, Grylls. And this week, we're focused on survival. Because here at Slosh Survive, learn to please your girlfriend and maybe you'll save her life. You might think it's hard. Oh, let me get that. But I've got some advice. Just tune into my show and you can survive the night. Because here at Slice of Rife, you can learn to save your pretty. Come on, men, let's save that pretty. Come on, lads, go save your pretty. Did you guys hear something? I heard something. I'm not going to do the accent the whole show because that's going to get terribly annoying for everybody. And P.S., I'm going to introduce you to the magic of television. I don't have a green screen. That's right. That's just my TV there. Nice little photo in the background. But it works magic. Welcome to Behind the Scenes. The jungle noises are epic. But this week, we are all about survival. Hence, our Beer Grylls episode. That's right. Episode 14 is Beer Grylls. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to cook out of a beer can. That's right. By the way, make sure you have your supplies just in case another hurricane comes. I've got mine. It's very versatile. It keeps you very low stress, which is nice during a storm. Lowers your blood pressure. Also makes you a little more pleasant, unless you're an angry drunk. Don't be an angry drunk. Come on, you're drinking. You're having a good time. You should be having fun. That being said, in light of the recent hurricane, what I have decided to do is show you, just a little something fun, a nice little trick. We're gonna turn this can into a stove, and then we're gonna cook fancy ramen noodles. That's right, actual ramen noodles from a little ramen package. Only we're gonna use some beef that just happened to be in our freezer, which, since metaphorically the power might be out after a hurricane, you might have to use some thawing out beef, and maybe you're thinking, hey, how do I spice this beef up? How do I throw a little flair onto this beef? Well, I'm gonna show you. We've also got some mushrooms, got some carrots we're gonna throw into our ramen. I'm not putting an egg in there. I don't like the egg in the ramen. I think it's weird. I don't care what you say. This is my ramen. I was inspired by watching a Bear Grylls episode where he cooked a turtle and he spritzed it with some grapefruit juice. And it actually looked delicious. I wanted to eat that turtle. And not often do I come across full-bodied dead animals that I want to eat. I like them butchered. But that turtle looked good. Also, my wife is pregnant. Yay! It works. Fantastic. But it got me really nervous about how we would survive if something did happen during this latest storm, Dorian. So, which, by the way, Alabama, you're safe. But I want to let everybody know, Alabama's safe, always has been. However, we're going to have some fun tonight. So follow me over here, and I'm going to show you guys how to turn this beer can into a little stovetop. But we are going to listen to this fantastic music the entire night, guys. And by music, I legitimately just mean sounds from the jungle. Don't ask me how I found Sounds of the Jungle, but I found Sounds of the Jungle on Spotify. And now that's how we live, right there. Sounds of the Jungle. Oh, what did I do? I didn't even know that was possible. Somebody who knows how to fix that. There we go. There's a button and everything. Look at that. They made that pretty easy for me, didn't they? All right, so let me get my apron. It's one of those other things that you're always going to need in a crisis situation. Pop this bad boy on. And guys, we've got a couple of raffles to catch up with. So let's go ahead and do our raffles. Now again, since this is me surviving alone in the wild, in the jungles, so to speak, after a storm, there's nobody here with me. My wife isn't here with me. I'm all alone. This one's a little impromptu. Since my wife was pregnant and we had a hurricane, I've been a little, stuff to do. Sorry. So it's been a little bit of a hiatus for me, but I'm back. And we are going to draw 2 names tonight, and both of those names are going to get to come to dinner with a guest. Okay, so on top of this, Micah, you're already coming, but this is 2 more people that are gonna get to come and bring a guest. And of course, I've got the New York Giants hat because football starts tonight. And while they're not playing, I'm Saquon Barkley and up all the right trees tonight. So let's pull our first name and let's see who we got here. Who's coming? Oh, we got Bippy! Bippy, baby, you're coming. That's Patrick Biff Life Lawson. I don't know if you guys see, I share a bunch of his stuff. He does the Biff sessions. They go live on Facebook. I want to say they go live on YouTube now too, but I know they're going live on Facebook and the lease, and it's fun stuff to listen to, man. They talk about any and everything. So give them a little like and share, and make sure you tune in when they go. They go Wednesday nights, usually around 11 or so, but sometimes it changes. So just like and follow the page and keep in touch. But Bippy, you're coming and you get a guest, my friend. So I'll make sure I reach out to you and let you know that you won this. Thank you for liking and sharing, sir. Let's see who else we're going to... Oh, you know what? A name popped out. A name popped out. When that happens, you got to go with it. Anna Jimenez. That's right. I don't know if I pronounced it right. I'm terrible with accents. I'm terrible with names. But you have also won, so you are coming. I will reach out to you as well, and it's you and a guest coming over for dinner during our next live cook, which will be in a couple of weeks. I'll give everybody the details. Go to whyshelovesme.com to catch up on all the old episodes. I don't have anybody to count hand washes. I don't have anybody to count drinks tonight, so you can play the Jeff Reif drinking game. Every time I drink, every time I wash my hands, you can yourself have fun and have a drink. But we're not doing the hand washing thing tonight, guys. I got too much going on, and we're out in the woods. There's no place to wash your hands. Water is limited. Okay, I can't be wasting precious water on my hands. I might just lick them. And then I'll do that all night because I'm the only one eating this. It's just me. This is my turtle with grapefruit juice all over it that I'm making tonight. This is beer Grylls' time, and we're going to get lit. All right, so first thing you need is a beer can, preferably one that's empty because this one is not. I had a beer can prep for this. I hope I didn't throw it out. If not, trust me, there's plenty in the trash awaiting. So I'll pull one out, but let me grab a beer can. You guys are going to like my ingenuity tonight, that I can tell you. Because I've done some fun things tonight. I've created my own little stovetop area over here using one of the racks from my grill, which is just fantastic. And let's pull out a knife for this. Met a guy one time and pulled a knife on me. And he was like, that's a knife. And I was like, that's not a knife. This is a knife. That's not a true story. This is not a true story, but this is my pocket knife. Remember that if you ever come at me. My pocket knife. What you're going to want to do is you're going to take the can and we're going to cut the top off. Okay, we're going to cut the whole top off. Now you can use scissors, you can use wire cutters, you can use whatever you want, but you can also just use a pocket knife. So if that's all you got laying around, go ahead and grab a pocket knife. This thing actually scares the shit out of me if I was going to be cutting around this can because, you know, I had a couple of drinks. So we're going to go a little smaller. We're going to go survival bracelet. That's right, survival bracelet. This thing has a little knife built into it. It's got a compass. There's a little flint on board in case I need to start a fire somewhere and I can't. And there's even a whistle. So, you know, if I'm lost in the woods and people need to find me, I can whistle. Gotta love this little thing. So you're just gonna insert it. There's a little rim right around the outside edge here. You're gonna insert it right around the outside edge of the rim and just make that hole. Just get that down in there. There you go. And then if you're just using the pocket knife, you're just gonna keep going, guys. So you just keep going along the edge. Now, since this is TV, so to speak, and we only have so much time, I'm not going to do the entire thing with a pocket knife because it'll take you a good 15 minutes, and I feel like that's just going to be a little boring. So what we're going to do is we're actually just going to use a little pair of wire cutters, guys, and I'm just going to cut around this bad boy here. Hopefully I got it going enough already. Now you want as clean a cut as you can get, but it's also not that big of a deal. We have a couple more things we got to do to make this bad boy work. So we're just going to get this out of here. Watch out for these little metal shards too. If you got little metal shards coming out on you guys, because you don't want to leave them laying around. Trust me, you step on one of these, you're gonna have a bad time. I'm gonna go ahead and work this out here. Wish I had a better pocket knife, and I don't want to destroy any of my kitchen knives or scissors, hence the usage of this bad boy. But I use like a cut and peel method. So I cut it up and then we peel it back. There's nobody reading comments tonight, guys, except for me, so I'm trying to watch. Yes, Pooley, I am in the jungle, Poopster. I am hanging out tonight in the jungle. I came from light years around just to hang out. All right, let's get this bad boy out of here. And remember, guys, all these little edges, these are sharp. Okay, so don't go cutting yourself with these little edges. This isn't something that kids should be doing. But this is a nice little oven that'll help you out in a pinch. So if you don't have any propane, you don't have any electricity, and you need to boil some water, or you just need to, heat up some food or something to eat some food so you're not eating cold food, this little guy will save your life. All right, so we got the top right out of there. We use these guys and just make sure all the little sides are in. Again, it's gonna be fire here, so you shouldn't be touching the top of this very much at all. So your top's cut out. That's all you really need to do there. And now we're just gonna cut the can right in half. Okay, so that's where your scissors are gonna come in handy. So you're literally just gonna take the can and you're just gonna cut it right in half, guys. There you go. Make sure you get all the way through it. Don't start peeling it because it'll peel at funny angles. So use the scissors and actually cut it. So now you've got two halves of the can, one with the top out, one with the bottom in. All right? Now the next thing you wanna do is you basically want the bottom of this little can to come right up to this upper little lip right here. So you've got this little lip. You want to cut the can so it comes right up to there. So if you look, I'm going to make a nice little circular cut here and get this can nice and grooved, and then I'm just going to line up this bottom one to fit. So we'll go ahead and we'll take these scissors. Let's just line this bad boy up. Don't forget it's sharp. So if you're doing this at home, don't hurt yourself. Just make sure it's nice and smooth. Try to make it about as even as possible because you want a pretty good seal on both sides. That looks pretty good to me. And then we're just going to line this up. So basically, if you look, that top part, that's going to stop right about there. But we need it to come down to here. So we're just going to shave a little bit right off. We'll say a little under the end here of the Pilsner. Now, Miller Lite, I also have another stove already made, and I used a Coors Light can for that. Because until I get a sponsorship, there shall be no loyalty, my friend. Whichever one of you is on sale in the store, that's the one I'm going with. Or you can sponsor me. Just saying. Just saying, your boy likes free stuff and money. So let's see there. I think that's about good, guys. Oh, that's fantastic. That is just a nice lined up job right there. So the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to take this top part, the part that has the little whole thing screwed out, and we're going to poke a little hole right into the ridge here. Now how you do that is up to you. I'm going to take my clippers and I'm just going to apply a little bit of pressure on the outside of the can till I get a little hole. So I have a little hole just like that, and that's basically for air to come in and funnel in so that your fire can ignite and it can keep a nice steady burn on the outside. Now this is the last step to this. That's how simple this thing is. And then we're just going to throw some isopropyl alcohol in it, which you can get at the drugstore for like $2 a bottle for this size, and you don't need much. It burns quite well and it burns quite hot. But all we're gonna do now is you're gonna put your two fingers in this guy like this. So they're just gonna go right in there like that. You see that? They're going right in there, all right? And you're just gonna stick them right up in there like that, and you're gonna hold it firm. Now the sweet spot is actually, it's on the up top side here where you wanna grip on. So as you're in there and you're pushing up on the up top side, that's where you want to grip, and then you're gonna hold it just a little bit. So make sure you're holding that. But we're gonna come with it. I'm gonna use my scissors, and you're gonna go right in between your two fingers, and you're gonna push down, and you're gonna make a little indent. And you want the indent deeper at the bottom, but you do want it to come all the way up to the top and make a little indent like that. Basically, what you're making is the little vents that the gas is gonna travel through while it's burning. And then you're just gonna move one finger over, and you're gonna go all the way around the can, and you're just gonna press the whole thing like that, okay? So you'll have vents all the way around the can. So you just want these nice little grooves, guys. I'll show you the whole thing when we're done. I'll show you exactly what it looks like. It's only gonna take me one more second, but make sure when you get your fingers in there, you're messing with that top part, because that's the part that's gonna make sure that this works right. Okay, so let's get all these done. Sit back down here, have a little sip of beer skis. So go ahead and drink at home if you're playing the Jeff Rife drink game. It's good times. Remember to like and share this video so you'll enter into our next live raffle. We have all of our winners hopefully coming. We'll see if anybody can't make it, but Bit Life, you won. Annie Jimenez, you won. And then we have Micah Andrea, who won from the week before. And every one of you guys gets to bring a guest. So we're going to have a nice little 8 squad rolling out here. Don't know what I'm making yet, but I know that it will involve power and an actual oven and not me making my own stovetop out of a can. P.S. There's a very good chance I blow up my house tonight on accident. So anybody watching, if we see a big fire, go ahead and call the police. Okay, call whoever you're supposed to call to make sure that I don't die tonight, because I do not want to die tonight. And like I said, my wife's not home, which is the only reason I'm attempting this in the house, because I ain't trying to die and kill her as well. Now here's what the bottom of the can should look like. So you got like this little, I don't know, like little flower shape going on at the bottom of the can. And you've got all the little grooves up here at the top. And you're literally just gonna take this guy and it should slide right into the bottom of this can. And that, my friends, is pretty much it if it works. If it works, am I terrible? Did I not make it? Oh, there it goes. It slides right in, guys. Make sure your little vent holes are just above. That is beautiful. And there you go, guys. Now this is actually going to this is gonna function as our stove. Now wait till you see the little hookup I have over here, because I shit you not, we might die tonight. I'm doing some sketchy shit. Okay, but again, this is survival. Okay, we're trying to live here. We're the masquerade of we have no power, we have barely any clean water, but we're trying to eat, and we're trying to eat good, like Beer Grylls would. That's right. Let's move this camera, guys. We're going over to the kitchen now. It's kitchen time. Oh, yeah. Let's pop you in here. Again, if something goes terribly wrong, please do call the police. I will give you my address at the time of things going terribly wrong, but if you already know it, I would appreciate you being on the up and up. Now, I'm not sure if we can see what I've done here, but basically I've used 4 beers to prop up a nice little cooking area where I've used a rack from my stove as my grill top, essentially. You can rest your pots and pans right on the can. However, they're tiny. Your pan wobbles. It's super hot and it's an open flame. That didn't seem safe to me. So I went with this route. And what I'll do is I'll take my 2 little cans. As you see here, I've got 2 little tiny grill cans. I'm gonna put them on opposite sides, right underneath, and then I'm gonna light them up. And we're gonna see if I die today, okay? But first things first, let's fill them up with some isopropyl alcohol, guys. So you don't need much for this. You only need them really to burn as long as you're going to cook, and you don't wanna waste your isopropyl alcohol. Not to mention, the best way to put this thing out is kind of just to let it burn itself out. So don't put much more than you need, and you really don't need a lot. We're gonna go just a little bit. We're gonna go right up to like the little bottom here. Just gonna add some. You can always add more and relight it, so less is actually better here. You wanna go a little less. So we're just gonna put a little bit in here. That should be good, I think, to boil our water. Yeah, right there. There's just a little bit in there too, guys. Again, I'm not using much. It really doesn't take much here. We're just gonna put a little bit in here. Now this is gonna be, it's gonna be interesting. 2 different cans, 2 different competitors. Coors Light on my, well, I don't know what direction it is for you guys. It looks like my right hand on the left of your vision, but it's actually my left hand. I'm basically in the upside down, as Chinea said, as Anthony Changes was so kind to point out. I live in the upside down. So we're gonna put these right under here, and let's go ahead and we're gonna use 2 cups of water. Now, I am gonna wash my hands, but since, you know, we're talking about needing clean water, I'm gonna wash my hands, guys. So we're gonna get them nice and wet. Add a little soap. And then I'm just gonna rinse them off with the clean water because I have no running water right now. I don't have any of that, guys. I'm using bottled water. There we go. This is a true survival episode, okay? I want to prove you can do this. Now, I do have towels because towels didn't go away. That's not something that disappeared in the face of the storm. But we are going to need 2 cups of water for the ramen. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get 2 cups of water in here. Oh, and it's just about 2 cups of water. Wow, had I not washed my hands with it, I would have had the exact amount of water necessary. Well, we'll open up another bottle because remember, you want to stay hydrated in post-apocalyptic times. I've got my mushrooms here. I've got my carrots here. All just things that happen to be in the fridge. This beef was just defrosting in the fridge, hence the idea for this meal. All right, note aside, it was supposed to be filet mignon, but I'd had the filet mignon like 2 nights ago and it had been defrosted for a couple of days and I just didn't want to eat it. It didn't look good to me anymore. So I went and I bought some fresh beef today. But if your beef just thawed out, your beef will be fine. Just make sure it's good before you eat it. That can come over to the side. We have our 2 cups of water and we're gonna get this boiling, which means we need to light our sterno candle for this bad boy, which is what we're gonna call this, a little sterno stove. So let's go ahead and let's get this lit. There we are. We got this starting to light up. Look at it come around the outsides already. And bam, guys, you have yourself a little stove. I'm gonna put this on here and I'm gonna grab the camera and I'm gonna bring it around because I want you guys to see this. This thing is actually super cool. So let me grab this guy. We'll do a little more intimate of an episode since there's nobody here today. So this is just me, you, and the birds and chirping, guys. We'll go ahead and make sure that we have a nice intimate episode. So check that little guy out. So that is our little stove right there, guys. And it's just burning, and it is just starting to boil our water. And that's how you cook it. That's it. Like that's how cool it is. That's how easy it is to make these little stoves. And in a pinch, they work out great. If you're ever camping or something and you don't have a nice stove, you can just bring one of these bad boys out with you. You can literally bring a bottle of rubbing alcohol, and bam, you've got something to boil water, something to cook food on for days, you know? So let's go ahead now that this is nice and cooking. That doesn't look too good. Yeah, no, we're fine. We are going to put the fan on because remember, we have open flames in the house. I also have my door open, so we'll make sure that that's okay. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to get our other thing going. Yeah, this really burns the bottom of the pans a little bit, huh? It rubs right off. Don't really worry about it, but it doesn't look super fun. We're going to move you back over here. Starting to question my usage of pan. Maybe I shouldn't have used this pan for this. One may never know. Yeah, we're going to use a different pan. Because that doesn't smell good. It smells burning. So we're going to use what I know to be an all nice pan here. We ain't going to mess around with this. I want to make sure that we do not ruin this. There we go. That's much better. Okay, I guess it just does that. But as I'm led to believe, this just rinses right off. It does, just rinse right off. It just doesn't smell very good. Alright, so this is a weird thing to do that I'm doing tonight. But we're doing it nonetheless. I'm sorry, I wanted to make sure I didn't burn my house down there. Just in case shit does go incredibly awry, I am prepared. Don't think that I'm an idiot. And don't just do this at home. Probably I should do this outside. I did do this the other night. I did test this out with some ramen. We are going to make sure our window's open and the fan is on. Let's turn this light on too. Let's get this bad boy going. Boy's getting nervous over here. Yeah, your boy's getting a little nervous over here. I'm not going to lie. This, we might just end up making ramen on the stovetop tonight. But I did show you that we can do some fun stuff here with these cool little cans. So, yeah, I think we're going to go stovetop because I don't want to burn my house down. So let me grab my oven mitts because you don't want to touch this now. This little guy's going to get a little hot. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to pull this out of the way here. We're going to let this bad boy burn off. I don't trust my pots right now, guys. I don't like what's happening. I'm not super enthralled by it. I'm sure we'll be safe, but it just doesn't make me happy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull these guys away, make sure we don't have this extra little explosive over here. Woo, could you imagine if we all just watched me burn my house down? Like just together live on Facebook? Let's just keep that there. That should burn off in just a couple of minutes. But hey, we got a nice little campfire going. We're here. We're surviving slice of life style. Next time I do this outdoors, I think that would be a better idea. I think this is one of those things where it's an outdoor kind of venture that we're supposed to have, and I try to do it indoors, and that just doesn't work. I mean, why do it indoors? I hope this is one of the highest viewed episodes too, because this is one of those episodes where everything just kind of goes awry, and you're like, ah, yeah, he might burn his place down. This is fantastic. It's not, it's scary. This was starting to steam though, as a head, which is pretty cool. Because we were getting to the point there where we were about to, you know, have some boiling water. And we probably could have finished it off, but I'm not liking the black on the bottom of the pans, guys. I gotta say. I'm not a fan of that. So we're gonna go ahead and rinse these off. It rinses right off though. That's the problem. Like, it literally rinses right off when you rinse it. So it's just scaring me. But you know what? I got a kid coming, and now's not the time for me to burn down my house. So I hate to disappoint you guys with the fact that now I'm going to just use regular pots and pans to cook this meal. But I made the can. You saw the stove. If you're in a pinch, it will work. And I think that still means we accomplished something here, guys. I feel like that's a win. I feel like that's a win for Slice of Rife, if anything else. So we're gonna go ahead. What's nice is I honestly, all right, we're gonna talk truth here for a minute. I'm gonna be 100 with you guys. I used my last 4 beers to make this stand, and I need another beer, which means that if I was to do this, if I was to continue cooking this using these beer cans, I wouldn't be able to grab a beer can out from underneath and drink another beer. And I gotta tell you, my priorities here during this hurricane is drinking the beer. I'll eat the ramen later. So let me go ahead and do this. We're gonna take this bad boy, we're gonna put this back in the oven, because remember, that is my oven rack. And then, look, I was just using beers. This is my little stand for my oven rack. And I need one. So have a drink if you're drinking at home with me. Lord knows I've had a couple tonight. Hence this. Hence fires in my kitchen. Alright, so let's get the rest of these beers out of the way. We're going to hurry up and make this food because it's only going to take about 5 more minutes. This is one of the quickest meals in the world, and we're almost done with our episode of Slice and Ripe, guys. So remember to like and share. Look, see, it already went out. That's perfect. It would have been just long enough. So let's move this out of the way. Let's get this water a-boiling. And then over here, while that starts to boil, we're going to season our beef. Remember, there's a lot of seasoning already in the broth, so you don't need a whole bunch. We're just going to go ahead and salt, and we're going to pepper this. I'm just using stir-fry beef. I figured it'd be perfect to just kind of saute quickly in a pan with a little bit of olive oil over a nice open beer can stove, which I think we all learned you don't do indoors tonight because it's just nerve-wracking. It's just a little scary. You know, you probably want to do that at a campsite, not indoors. So just as a heads, if you follow along and you're having fun, and tonight's episode is one you want to try, don't do this at home. Don't. Do it somewhere safe where you can't start a forest fire and nothing terrible happens. Just toss your meat around with the salt and pepper. I'm the kind of guy who always just likes to toss his meat around. So, you know, when I get the chance, I'm going to make sure it gets nice and seasoned, and I'm going to toss it a little bit. You know, I've never been too fond of the greens. I'm not a big veggies guy. I don't toss on salads. It's one of those things where I'd rather toss around some meat than I would toss some salads. So, you know, that happens on occasion. There we go. All right, we're going to heat up a little drizzle of olive oil in this pan. Next thing that we're going to do is saute our steak before we add it to our ramen soup. Now again, these are desperate times, these are desperate measures. We are actually using ramen noodles. Ramen noodles in this dish, guys. It's that simple. Flavor packet and all. That's right, I have beef flavored. That's the one that I have, so that's the one that we're using tonight. Let's go ahead and heat this up. You're gonna do medium-high heat for your steak, so go ahead and get that working. This water was actually super hot from just that little time that it spent on that can stove earlier. If anybody's watching later and you're just tuning into this part, go back. I made a stove out of a beer can and I lit it on fire, and then I started to cook in my kitchen with it. It was epic until I got nervous because it makes the bottom of your pans black. It rinses right off, apparently, because I just rinsed it off and it rinsed right off, but I got a little nervous, okay? I'm not gonna lie. I tested this one the other day. It wasn't anywhere near as bad as it was tonight, so I'm home alone. I only have one fire extinguisher. I got a little nervous. So we're finishing this bad boy off on the actual just stovetop, okay? But I taught you how to survive in the wilderness. That's all we needed to do, I feel, in my opinion, was teach you how to survive. I have 2 beers now. Oh, you know what? I didn't need a beer. That's okay, I use that as an excuse. It's just me pivoting away from the fact that I got really nervous. I've already got my plating set up, which is fantastic for later. I want to actually give a huge shout out to Alexis, the chef for my work. He gave me these bowls when they were throwing them out, and they're going to work beautifully for presentational purposes here in this meal. So I'm very excited about that. Thank you very much, sir. You, I guess, kind of helped inspire this dish, so to speak. Sorry that it's a ramen noodles, but it is fancy ramen noodles. We've got shiitake mushrooms again. We've got little magic carrot sticks that we're throwing in here. And we're also sauteing our own steak so that we can add some steak there. These are all things you probably have laying around the house after a hurricane. Stuff you might need to use. So that was the inspiration for tonight's meal. Hence the survival gear. Tout and a knife. We got it going. My bracelet has a compass and a flint. We're not messing around today, guys. Let's get this nice and warm. Almost boiling here. Now, once this starts to boil, we're not going to throw the ramen noodles in right away. What we're actually going to do is we're going to throw the mushrooms and we're going to throw the carrots in, and we're going to give those just a minute. That way we make sure that the water is still at very high boiling temperature for when we add the ramen, because you want the water to be boiling. If we throw all this in, the water cools down a little bit, we throw the ramen in, you might get your ramen too al dente. You don't want it too al dente, but you also don't want it mushy. You do want a nice texture to your ramen. So pay attention to what, it's 3 minutes that you cook it. Like, it's pretty easy to pay attention for 3 minutes. I know it's tough in today's day and age with all of the things that we have, but I think you can pay attention for all of 3 minutes to your ramen to make sure that you're not overcooking or undercooking your ramen. So we got this steak going here. All right, that's almost hot enough. Always make sure that your pans get hot enough before you start to cook food in them. Your food doesn't sear the right way. If you don't, it seems silly. It seems like it shouldn't matter, but it's one of the most important things. I feel weird with this little headband on. I feel like I look like the Karate Kid or something. Like some shit's about to go down, and I'm gonna need to Keanu Reeves somebody. I would be so terrible at Kung Fu. Ooh, unless I was the drunken master. I would be really good at being the drunken master, just like doing all those like weird drunk moves where you're like, oh, dodge the punch, punch, you tried to kick, oh gosh, smack, and then I just smack you in a drunken stupor. That's the way it works. All right, I think this pan is probably hot enough for our meat to go in. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna throw one piece in and test the sizzle. That's the sizzle. When you get the sizzle, shit is for rizzle at that point, which means you're ready to go. So let's throw the rest of our meat in there. Now again, I'm only cooking for one person tonight, so if you're cooking for more people, use extra packs of ramen, use more carrots, use more mushrooms. I'm making for one, as I'm left to my own devices on this Thursday that includes football. So we're going all man out this Thursday. That's right, this is Man's Day and Women's Who Love Sports Days. And these days, I don't know all the right terminology. Just know that I'm cool or whatever. Just don't be hurting nobody. Just don't hurt nobody. And everything's cool. I just saw a post about a guy who was born white and he thinks that he's Filipino. He believes that he is Filipino on the inside because when he hears the music and he hears the culture, he feels right. What's so wrong about that? Like, man, it makes him feel good. Doesn't hurt anybody. Like, is that a big deal? The guy identifies Filipino. Like, y'all can identify as white if you want, but, you know, whatever. I don't care. Just walk around and be like, no, I'm white. I feel white on the inside, or no, let's back away from this before. Lord knows, I'll say something stupid, meaninglessly, harmlessly. I'll say something stupid, and then PETA will be on my ass. That's right, PETA. PETA would be coming after me because I'll find a way to insult like a giraffe. Won't even be talking about it. Something will happen. Oh, that meat looks good. And our water is just starting to boil. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to throw our mushrooms and we're going to throw our carrots right in there. And we're just going to give those a second. Now again, you don't really have to add any salt or pepper to this thing, guys. It's a weird one because all the flavors in this little broth packet thing that they've given us. They've given us packet flavor in the ramen noodles. They've basically given you dried, crushed up bouillon. It's just in a little pack. So why everybody's hating on ramen? What, man? It's some bouillon and it's some noodles. That's pretty legit. Now, if you add all this other stuff to it, it becomes fantastic, which is why we're doing this. We are having a grand old time. I'm gonna cut this meat up, I think, a little bit once I've cooked it nicely. That way, no, we're going whole. We're going whole in there. I like it on the whole. I think we keep it on the whole. I think on the whole it's better. All right, you know, it's one of the, I mean, when's a hole a bad thing unless you fall into one? You don't want to fall into a hole, but other than that, holes in life are pretty cool. I mean, I breathe through my nose holes, okay? I can also breathe through my mouth hole. I hear through my ear holes. I eat through my mouth hole. I get rid of that food. We won't talk about that hole. Made a baby with my other hole. I got a baby coming. I'm so excited. I'm sorry. That's my life right now. You're going to have to deal with it. There's babies are coming. So take your ramen. Now that this is boiling, it's been boiling for about a minute. We've got a nice boil going. And just drop your ramen right in there, guys. We're dropping ramen. Ramen dropping. I'm actually going to use the chopsticks that I'm going to use to eat to go ahead and get this going too. Oh, this is looking good. Now remember, it's about 3 minutes. I'm going to set my oven timer. Obviously, post-apocalyptic, you're just going to have to taste it. You know, you have to see if it tastes good. Okay, I got you. Calm it down. You don't have to yell at me, oven. I don't like it when the oven yells at me. Why does this oven think it's better than me? Why does it think it's got something I want? It doesn't. Oh, steak smells delicious. Let that keep cooking for just a minute. We might steal a little piece. Mmm. Oh, that's good. That is good beef. Mmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is cooking good. I'm going to flip my ramen. I like to flip my ramen halfway through cooking. I feel like it's a smart move. I don't know about y'all, but it just always seemed like the move to me. You flip it. And halfway through. Don't flip it too soon. You flip it about halfway through. Okay? Because you want to spend plenty of time on both sides. You want to get the front. You want to get the back. You want to get the top. You want to get the bottom. You want to get the inside. You want to get the outside. Okay? You want to make sure all of these noodles get nice and tender. And you separate the noodles a little bit. Alright? We're going to mix this all up. It's going to look fantastic in the bowl. I'm going to put the meat right on top of it. And everything looks good with a little meat right on top of it. Unless you're a vegetarian. But, you know, I can't date you. I'm sorry. I love you vegetarians. You guys are cool. You could eat this. Well, it's got beef in the broth bouillon. In the bouillon packet that comes with the ramen, there is some beef. This beef, however, is done. You don't want to overcook this, all right? We're still going for just like a nice medium on this beef in here. Oh, that is just looking fantastic. And then we have just another minute or so on this ramen. And remember, you got to let it sit for about a minute too, which is perfect. We're going to let it sit for about a minute after we add this little flavor packet. We'll just remove it from the heat. Let it hang out. You don't want to overcook it. Again, you want them slightly al dente. Nobody wants mushy, mushy ramen. And I know it's weird that I'm all alone tonight, but I'm having fun, manning out, surviving out here in the wilderness of my kitchen, which no longer has some crazy burning fire in it. Because again, I got a little nervous. But it did happen earlier on. So if you want to check back to where I almost burnt my house down, and why I switched over to the stovetop, you can go ahead and you can scroll back and you can watch me get very close to burning my house down. Still a fun time. Would not have given it up for anything. Oh, that is perfect. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and turn the timer off here because I know it had a little extra in it. We're going to remove this from the heat and we're going to go ahead and we're going to stir in this beef packet, guys. So just stir in your bouillon packet. I'm sure I don't have to really tell you how to make ramen, but you never know, man. You never know these days what people know and don't know. I mean, I can think of a couple of areas where my expertise would be better and they really shouldn't be. Oh, that just looks wonderful. Wait till you guys see this plated. This is going to be spectacular. All right, I'm going to go ahead and again, we remove this from the heat. And that's pretty much it, guys. Let's go ahead and plate this. We're about to be eating this. Oh, look at all those ramen noodles. Just fantastic. All right, now, the best way to do this, put these back on the plate because I'm just going to be eating with those. So we're going to grab a fork. Actually, you know what? Let's use these tongs right here. We're going to grab the noodles. Grab them right by the middle and just twist the noodles, guys. Just twist them. It's going to keep them all together like you're eating spaghetti. And we're going to put these right into this bowl. Ooh, does that look good? Yes, yes, yes. Give me new noodles. All right, and now we're going to pour the broth over so all of our mushrooms and deliciousness are right on top. Oh, that looks so good. And then coming right on top of that, guys, we're gonna lay around some beef here. Man, you guys ain't never seen ramen like this unless you went to a nice fancy place. And think about how expensive that, well, ramen's not crazy, but a good ramen is a little costly. This ramen is not. And this ramen is fire right here, guys. That looks so good. Move this right off the heat. And then all we gotta do, because you know how I like, you know how I do. You always gotta sprinkle a little parsley on it. You always gotta sprinkle the parse. Here we go. I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna lean this down. I want you guys to see what we did tonight with some ramen during a hurricane. That's right. Right there, y'all. Let's pop on this light. Let's see if we can get it a little brighter here. Look at this bad boy. Look at that. Thank you again, Alexis, for this wonderful, wonderful bowl. Provided my plating tonight. Compliments of my boy. Look at that gorgeousness. That thing looks fantastic. We are going to go eat this now. All right, and then we're going to watch football because it is about football time. Notice how I did a nice quick episode, opening night of football? Yeah, that's right. Fantasy football on the line. I got a ring from seasons past. Couple of championships. Yeah, you know, your boy. Just having some fun. Thank you, Sewell. Thank you for loving the bandana, sir. Much appreciated. Sorry I was all alone tonight and had trouble answering questions and stuff like that, guys. If you had any, do know that food tonight is going to be delicious. And then also, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Remember to like and share to enter into the raffle. Anna Jimenez, you won. Don't forget, Bip, you won. And then Micah, you won as well the previous week. So I will contact all of you, and we will get times together to make sure that you guys can come enjoy dinner with a guest here at Slice of Rife. And that's whyshelovesme.com. That's where you should go, whyshelovesme.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. Pat, you just tuned in, so I'm going to show you the finished product, buddy. Finished product right there. Yeah, that's right. Things got a little hectic early on. I almost burnt the whole place down. So I did veer away from the gas stove at one point, but it worked magnificently. It almost worked too well. Let's put it that way. Like, shit was too hot. It was too hot, baby. I had to run for shelter. I had to run for shade because it was too hot. Too hot. Too hot, lady. Yeah, I don't know if anybody got that, but I hope you did. And by anybody, Pat, you, because you're the only one watching right now. But I appreciate you, buddy. Love you guys. Stay safe if a hurricane does hit. And you guys have a wonderful one. Pleasure.